Harrison Mann, a Jewish former U.S. Army major, resigned to protest U.S. support for Israel's war in Gaza. More anti-Semitism coming from the State Department, folks. Unimaginable, unacceptable.
Exclusive interview with a Jewish U.S. Army major who resigned to protest U.S. support for Israel's war in Gaza. Until yesterday, Harrison Mann worked in the Middle East Bureau of the Defense Intelligence Agency. In his first TV interview, he tells Chief Investigative Correspondent Jim Axelrod why he can no longer serve in the Army.
When the reports started to filter in about a Hamas attack of Israel on October 7th, former Army Major Harrison Mann knew what to expect.
All hands on deck, people working late hours, 24/7 at the outset.
What was unexpected for him was Israel's response.
We saw, even from the first days of the Israeli...
Big dog, you worked at the State Department. Fuck you mean it was unexpected? Everyone knew this was going to happen. That's precisely why so many liberal Zionists were like immediately being like, what happens to the Palestinians are a direct consequence of the actions of October 7th. It's like, hold up, what do you mean? Like so many progressive, quote unquote, progressive motherfuckers on the timeline immediately knew exactly what was going to happen and decided to shift their priorities over to justifying Israel's actions. I'm just reminded of like in the immediate aftermath of October 7th, so many people who are otherwise like progressive, running defense already preemptively for Israel by saying like this, everything that's going to happen is Hamas's fault because Israel is not going to take this, lying down, yada, yada, yada. Those people knew exactly what Israel was going to do. And they chose, knowing full well exactly what Israel was going to do, they chose to fucking defend Israel. Not saying this guy is, by the way. I want to reiterate. I'm just saying it's a testament to how much people with any kind of know-how on how Israel operates knew exactly what the fuck Israel was going to do, myself included. That's why if you look back at my coverage, if you look back from my coverage all the way back in early October, virtually nothing has changed in my tone, in my attitude, in the things that I'm saying. The only thing that has changed is that in the beginning, we lost a lot of fucking community members, many of which have come back now. Because they thought that it was like unimaginable, the things that I was saying. Oh my God, these guys are the victims here. How dare you? 8 months later, now they recognize perhaps they weren't the victims.
The air campaign, willingness to inflict very high...
You've gotten significantly more pro-Palestine, actually? No.
Civilian casualties.
A response this 13-year Army vet working on Middle East issues for the Defense Intelligence Agency says was enabled by U.S. weapons and indiscriminately targeted Palestinian civilians.
Were the Israelis using American weapons against civilians in Gaza?
I can say... almost certainly, yes.
But were they doing so intentionally?
I don't know how you kill 35,000 civilians by accident.
Mann resigned in November.
This is your letter.
No longer able to justify his work to himself, which he explained to his colleagues in a letter.
At some point, whatever the justification, you're either advancing a policy that enables the mass starvation of children, or you're not.
You felt your work was directly connected to starving children.
Yes.
Another U.S. government official announced today she has resigned to protest.
More than a half dozen government officials have publicly resigned in protest of U.S. support for Israel's war. Mann is the first from the military, the first from the intelligence community, and the first who's Jewish.
I understand if people are angry that I chose to speak about this, but I didn't really feel like I had that much of a choice.
The grandson of Jews who fled the anti-Semitism of Eastern Europe, Mann doesn't agree that the cry of never again that galvanized Jews after the Holocaust warrants the current Israeli response.
They're not responding in a way that is productive for the security of the state of Israel or Jews worldwide. And I think using never again as a justification, I'm confident saying it's certainly, some measure of ethnic cleansing. I do not think is in the spirit of never again.
Wow. Powerful reporting from Jim Axel.
No, U.S. is not going to Snowden him. There's a lot of people like him. I mean, he's great. It's awesome.